A note to my younger self. Now, this is a slightly different than usual video that I wanted to put together today, because over the last 6-7 years, so much has changed in my life. I've changed a great deal. And sometimes when I put my videos together, I like to give an opportunity to be reflective so that you can understand and appreciate my perspective as I'm going through life. And at the age of 21, 22, there were so many things that I was thinking about, what I want out of life, what I don't want out of life. And now I'm at 46. It's crazy to think that so many of those things that I was thinking just weren't particularly true. And now I'm going to do this video for you at the age of 46 and look back and almost reflect on that 26-year journey and try and speak to my younger self. And in doing so, I want you to think about what you're thinking about right now. Because part of my responsibility right now, and I've just been having a conversation with Michael about what type of father I would like to be. And we had a great conversation off camera, and it strengthened the desire for me to do this video. Because first and foremost, at the age of 20, 21, like your first thought process is, no, I don't want to be a father. Like, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be married. I just want to, yes, you just want to enjoy what you're doing right now. And I was so focused on what I was doing, and enjoying every moment of what I was doing. And you don't have to think 10, 15, 20 years down the line right now. But I want to speak to my younger self, and I just want to say, you do want to have a family. You are going to want to have a family. And I know you're going to resist me right now, Mark, but you will want to have a family. Because as I'm sitting here at 46, and I feel a little bit emotional saying this, I have a family. Not just my mother and brother and sister and extended family through my wife and my cousins and uncles and aunties, but I've built a little family. Myself, my wife, and my son. And having been somebody who, until I met my wife, and probably only until a year and a half ago, my wife and I were not really saying that we were that interested in children at the time. But now having my child, I'm going to look back and say to my younger self, you're going to want to have a family. And the reason why I wanted to put this video together to my younger self was to try and speak to my younger self and say, think a little bit more about money to my younger self. When you don't value money, you waste it. And when I was younger, I was earning decent money as a coach in the early days and first 5 or 6 years, and I just spent it. I didn't see any value in it. And if I could talk to my younger self right now, I'd say value it because you're going to need it. Not necessarily to invest early doors straight away, but I would have saved it, potentially done some investing a little bit earlier on with some right guidance, spoken to more people a little bit about money and tried to learn a little bit about money. But you're going to want to do more for people, Mark, younger Mark, as you get older. And I relate this back to money and life because I'm at a stage right now whereby life is not cheap. The life that I want to live is not cheap. The homes I want to live in, the experiences I want to do, the care that I want to provide for my wife and our son. And so a note to my younger self, don't blow it. Don't just bring it in and just shovel it away and waste it. 10 years, 15 years away is going to come so fast. And I've worked incredibly hard to get to where I am today, but I would give myself a little bit of a heads up that you're going to want to do more for people. And those people are going to be the people that end up being your partner, your wife, your husband, your children. And Mark, to my younger self, don't wait till you're 40 to try and get there. Start the journey now. Start the journey to understanding more about money. Start the journey towards appreciating what you're doing right now and charging what you're worth and focusing on the hours you have during the day to serve and grow and learn. I was learning, but I was spending a lot of my money because I didn't value it. You won't want to have to say no to things, Mark, to my younger self. I'm in such a fortunate position right now where I do everything that I want. I can do everything that I want. If Marsha and I want to do things, we do it. And, we are in a fortunate position where, invariably we just won't look and we just want to do it and we do it and we pay for it. But I want to have a note to my younger self is that you're not going to want to say no to things. There's nothing worse in life than, wanting to travel somewhere and thinking, I just don't know if I've got the money. And right now you might be 20, 21, 22, and you're wasting your money and you're not working hard and you're not pushing yourself to be the best that you can. And in doing so, even right now, you're experiencing what it's like to not be able to do things and to have to say no to things and have to turn things down. And I'm in a position right now where I don't have to, and where I'm able to say yes and do anything that I want. But my note to my younger self is, you're not going to want to say no. So put yourself in the position right now where you can start saying yes to everything earlier on, and experiences and opportunities. Just wanted to stop the video for 2 seconds. Now, if you find my content helpful and you want to learn more from me, you want access to resources, you want more free trainings and live weekly webinars, then make sure you click the link in the description. Make sure you head over to my Impact and Integrity free Facebook group. Now, let's get on with the video. Everything that isn't important now will be. Buying a home, I'm cool. Investing in a home, I'm cool. Traveling, spending a lot more money, spending money for experiences, I'm cool right now. Trust me, Mark, to my younger self. You're going to want to do all those things. You're going to have all those things. So start thinking now about how in 10 to 15 years time am I going to be able to do all those things. It really doesn't feel good when your back's against the wall. Now I'm talking 10 years ago, 12 years ago, even a real challenging experience for me in the last 5 years. It doesn't feel good when your back's against the wall. And the thing that you will experience as you go through your life, Mark, is your back will be against the wall. And very often your back against the wall when finances are a challenge. I'm talking a lot in this video right now about money, about appreciation of money, about earning enough money, about valuing experiences, about valuing other people. And it all comes at a cost. And I speak to so many coaches, Mark, 10, 15, 20 years into their career, and they do have their back against the wall. They can't afford certain things. They're not pushing themselves further. So a note to my younger self is, avoid having your back against the wall. Sometimes you've got to go through these challenging times, and you will, and it's normal and it's expected, it's fine. But try and get to the point where there's less of those times where your back's against the wall, because it's all in your control, Mark. Life isn't going to be cheap, Mark. If you're growing up with excellence at the forefront of your brain, excellence costs. Everyone around you, Mark, is likely going to stay the same. A note to my younger self. I spent a lot of time when I was younger with wonderful people. And as I grew up and, where I am now in my life and the people I have around me, they're not the same people that I had when I was younger. And I love and respect everybody that I grew up with. But a note to my younger self is that when you feel that you're ready for a change, don't feel that you've got to be locked into the environment that you're in right now. It's okay to change. It's acceptable. I've changed so many times. I've gone from my hometown to Nottingham to London to North London to Dubai and wherever the wind blows. But a note to my younger self is that a lot of people around you will, quite frankly, they'll be happy where they are right now, but it's okay to change. It's okay to travel. It's okay to move. It's okay to do things, because you got to lean into what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, what makes you inspired. And I find that a note to my younger self is that people around you are going to stagnate, and it doesn't necessarily mean when I say stagnate, they might be very happy for them, but it doesn't align with you. So a note to my younger self would be to just keep moving, aligned with where your heart feels and your values are aligned. And when I say aligned, it's important that you lean into what you enjoy the most. A note to my younger self is, I spent a good time of my childhood trying to do things that fit in to expectations or ideals of other people. And a note to my younger self is to lean into what you enjoyed the most, because the route to success is only paved when you're doing what you love. And the younger version of me spent a lot of time doing things that he didn't necessarily love, and then he moved into the fitness industry. And regardless of wearing gym clothes and talking to people on treadmills, that's where I have to start. And a note to my younger self is, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how underpaid or lower paid you are. There is not a starting place that can't turn into being a millionaire. There isn't one. There's janitors, multimillionaires. There's low-level tech, multimillionaires. Okay? There's personal trainers, multimillionaires. I've said this on a video recently. There's so many more multimillionaires in the fitness industry to come. It's a growing industry. And so the fact that you're on the gym floor right now, Mark, the fact that you're being a fitness instructor right now, Mark, the fact that you're not earning a great deal of money right now, if you love what you do, lean in and stay there and keep climbing, because wherever you are right now, whatever you're inspired to do the most, Mark, lean into that, because that's where the success is. So I find this quite therapeutic, talking to the younger version of me that I believe in some parts took his time, but I took my time for a very, very good reason. And as I'm going through this with you, I just want to reinforce to you that you are going to want a family. Now, I'm not saying that if you're saying no, I almost categorically will say that you will. You're going to want to do more for people. You don't want to say no to things. And everything that you think isn't important to you today, just go with it, because it will be down the line. Life is not cheap. A life of excellence isn't cheap. A life of success isn't cheap. So a note to my younger self, Mark, was prepare early, don't prepare late. I really appreciate you listening to this. It's been therapeutic to me to talk to my younger self, but in doing so, I hope that it's been a video of reflection that's added some value to your life. As always, if you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe. Please click the link in the bio here on YouTube or on my Instagram if you're listening to iTunes. You'll find out all the details how we can help you. But for now, take care.